the story of the British Leyland Metro is not just a tale of steel, rubber, and glass, but a gripping industrial drama filled with political desperation, brilliant engineering on a shoestring budget, and a heartbreaking end. It is the story of a little car that carried the weight of an entire nation's manufacturing survival on its shoulders. The journey began in the mid-1970s. British Leyland, the state-owned automotive giant, was in a catastrophic state, plagued by constant strikes, financial losses, and an aging product line. The iconic Mini was decades old, and the company desperately needed a modern hatchback to rival foreign newcomers like the Ford Fiesta and Renault 5. Executives poured their hopes into a secret replacement project codenamed ADO 88. However, when they showed the prototypes to public focus groups, the reaction was disastrous. People found the car boxy, utilitarian, and ugly. With time running out, a new boss named Michael Edwards took the reins. Realizing that failure meant the total collapse of British Leyland, he ordered a radical rethink. Under the project name LC8, designers David Bake and Harris Mann worked relentlessly to save the project. They chiseled the exterior lines to look wider and more aggressive, completely redesigned the interior to offer class-leading cabin space, and maximized visibility. To build it, the company invested millions of pounds in a state-of-the-art, highly automated assembly line at the famous Longbridge plant, bringing a wave of optimistic technological pride to the British car industry. In October 1980, the car was finally unveiled to the public as the Austin Mini Metro. It was launched with an unprecedented wave of patriotic marketing, famously advertised as a car that would drive the foreigners out of Britain. The British public responded with immense enthusiasm. Prince Charles drove one, and Princess Diana owned a red model, and it quickly became a common sight on every British high street. Underneath its modern skin, the early Metro relied on old technology. Because British Leyland could not afford to develop a brand new engine, engineers took the Mini's ancient overhead valve engine and upgraded it. It was noisy and lacked a fifth gear, but it was incredibly robust. Buyers loved its clever packaging. It was tiny on the outside but felt remarkably spacious inside. The range grew rapidly. Families bought the economical Austin HLE, executives chose the plush Vanden Plas with its luxury wood and leather trim, and enthusiasts fell in love with the MG Metro and the fire-breathing MG Metro Turbo. British Leyland even created the legendary MG Metro 6R4, a mid-engined, four-wheel drive monster that looked like a Metro on steroids and raced in the Wild Group B World Rally Championship. By the late 1980s, however, the original Austin Metro was showing its age. Competitors had moved on with smoother engines and 5-speed gearboxes. British Leyland, now renamed the Rover Group, drew up blueprints for an entirely new car called the AR6. But history repeated itself, and the cash-strapped government refused to fund it. Instead of giving up, Rover's engineers performed a miracle under the project banner R6. Armed with a tiny budget, they took the existing body structure and completely transformed the mechanical foundations. In 1990, they launched the Rover Metro. Gone was the loud, rattling engine, replaced by Rover's brand new, highly advanced K-Series aluminium engine. They also redesigned the interconnected hydrogas fluid suspension. The result was an absolute revelation. Automotive journalists were stunned to find that this low-budget makeover rode and handled better than almost any other small car on the market, spawning sporty models like the GTA and the high-revving GTI 16-valve. The final chapter began in 1995. To prepare the car for wider European sales, Rover retired the Metro nameplate and rebranded the vehicle as the Rover 100. It received a rounded exterior facelift and modern upholstery to hide its aging skeleton. But time had finally caught up with the car. The tragic end came swiftly in 1997. The newly formed Euro NCAP safety organization subjected the Rover 100 to its rigorous, modern crash testing. The results were horrifying. The aging 1970s body structure collapsed under the impact, earning the car a devastatingly poor 1-star safety rating. The shocking footage was broadcast on national television, and sales collapsed almost overnight. Realizing that the structural design could simply no longer be modernized, Rover quietly shut down the Longbridge production line forever, ending nearly 2 decades of a truly iconic British automotive survivor.